hang on really quick. Let me do the introduction. Hey, welcome race fans to IMSC Round 2 at Hockenheim. I am joined here in the booth with ORC Black Ghost. Ghost, how you doing?
Pretty good. What happened?
So there was an incident involving Master Big Chief. Looks like he got a little overexuberant on the brakes and ran into the back of TRC and took him out. We issued a restart because I was showing damage on multiple people's screen. There was like 4 or 5 cars involved. We're within the first.
What's your rules again? I thought maybe after the second lap.
The first racing lap, as long as it's within the first racing lap. So the pace lap doesn't count, obviously. So that's the first racing lap. We can restart. So I just want to make sure, unfortunately, TRC starting in the front there was really disenfranchised by that, and really didn't deserve that one. So and with multiple people involved and damage, we're gonna redo that one.
Yeah, I did see when Master Chief T-boned at the TRC, and then pile up happened behind it. But I went back and looked at the TRC's car, and I didn't look at everybody else, and he did have some severe damage. So yeah. Yeah,
anytime where there's no required pit stop in this round or in this series, so anytime you have to pit, obviously is a huge. I mean, you're just out of the race completely. Now, it looks like we got the guys on the pace lap, but it looks like they're spreading out really wide for some reason right now. So hopefully they're going to rein it in right now. Yeah, everybody's trying to catch up. Should be good.
Okay, looks like they're forming now.
So give me your dark horse for the race. Who's your person you're figuring is going to really step up and try to make some ground in this round?
Well, first I'll say hybrid is pretty strong. To make up some ground, Chief Trash Man is running pretty well, I must say. I might see Trash Man move up there to the front. That'll be interesting. And in the middle of the pack, I would like to probably see. I saw how Trigger was actually doing well against Bodacious and Yankee, so trying to pick a couple of dark horses.
Yeah, I definitely think.
Right, we're starting.
Yeah, I definitely think Unknown Hitman and Dat Trashman have shown that they're really fast in those silver tunes, and they may be actually part of those drivers that are relegated up to a gold tune and put into pro with the way they've been performing. But we'll have to see after the race. We're going to evaluate all the times and get the average lap times, and then reclass some of these guys.
Sure. Yeah.
So
right now,
I'm
just taking out a comfortable lead. Not comfortably, but he's leading out the pack right now. See, Chief is trying to come up there. It looks like TRC trying to take the inside of the hairpin. Did he get that position? Looks like he did Medieval Knight, so he's in third.
They're one off for some reason. I don't know why it's showing LMR Hybrid in 14th for some reason. Did you notice that?
No, on my screen he's first.
Oh, I see Master Big Chief in first, TRC in second, and it says 14th for LMR Hybrid for some reason. Almost like he's a lap down. I don't understand how that could be, but let me try to switch cars to him and let me see what the heck is going on. Yeah,
that's interesting. I got him in 1, 2, 3. Hybrid Chief and TRC. So
that's strange. You have to check out the recording when it comes out. It's interesting.
Forza bug, I guess.
I must be one-sided Forza bug.
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting trying to commentate. You're looking at what I'm looking at. So
yeah, I'm on board with TRC right now. You see, Master Big Chief went really wide there into the first corner, which definitely is easy. So TRC is going to come up the inside here, I think, and take a little bit of ground. We'll see if Chief can hold it.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now.
Oh yeah.
Looks like Chief might get the advantage.
Okay, now it's first.
Next turn. Okay, so Chief is third now.
Yeah, now it's switched over. Now it shows LMR Hybrid as number 1. So good.
We're on the same page.
That dude's fast, man. He made up a whole lap and then some on that last one. Dang.
Yeah. So
a little bump from Chief.
Yeah, a little bump from Chief. But TRC is making us pretty quick. You know, watching the TRC from the first race with at Cataluna, he's pretty fast. But I noticed though, if you compare him to hybrid, he's not as patient in the turns as hybrid is. So I don't know. I just don't know how much he can probably take first place over hybrid. Like I was saying earlier, hybrid is strong.
Ooh, really wide in that corner.
Yeah, well, Chief like he might try to take advantage of that.
Well, I think he tried to, but he didn't want to create another incident like in the restart. So he had to back out of that one because TRC was coming back and kind of closed him off a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm going to move back in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, let me know who you want.
Hitman, Bodacious, Trashman. Yeah, I want to take a look at these guys.
Okay, Trash is in 7th right now. I'm going to go on board with him in the purple number 32. Purple and white.
A little more aggressiveness behind him. Flight is all over 4K. Let me watch this.
Yeah, I can see him behind here. 8th and 9th there.
Okay, so...
And Trigger's on board there too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, little wide. Somebody's in the grass.
4K push Flight up. Flight lets him off about 2 positions. He went off course. Flight is down 10th, 11th.
So was that an issue? I can see that. I can see he went off, but I didn't know what the catalyst was to that. So if you were on board with them,
it was just ran out of real estate, and Flight was 4K was just not giving me room, really.
Okay, so you think 4Cam didn't give enough? We'll look at the incident obviously once we look back at it.
Yeah. So the Flight's in 11th now, but I'm looking at Yankees fan Trigger and 4Cam. Trigger is actually on the back of 4Cam.
Yeah, I saw that.
And now Trigger's trying to take. Well, now Trigger tucks back. Trigger tucks back in underneath the Xbox One X bridge. Oh, hey,
yeah, watching them into the stadium section here, coming into that hairpin.
Yeah. Let me go back and see how Trigger and 4Cam.
Yeah, I'm on board with Trigger right now, watching 4Cam right in front, and ORC Yankees fan behind in 10th, about 100 feet behind. You got a 70 foot and 100 foot behind, 80 foot now. So interesting to see. It's always interesting to see how each of these drivers takes the same tune, same everything like that, and either manipulates the gears to get a little more speed or figures it out. So I don't know how much time these guys have practiced in the cars during the week, because obviously they know ahead of time, and the tunes are up, so they know and they can practice as much as they want or as little as they want.
Right.
I like this livery that Trigger has on.
Oh, he locked up. Midi was trying to go inside of Chief. But,
okay, let me go up front.
Now Medieval's on the back of Chief.
Who locked up? It was Master Big Chief or was Medieval?
Yeah, I think Master Chief locked up. Because that's how Medieval was able to capitalize on the lost time. Oh, this thing just drifted off.
Look how squirrely these cars are.
I know.
And we knew that.
You're trying to put that power down and all that torque in the rear wheel. Some of these drivers are talking about how traction control might be an issue for them, but they're not used to it, or not having traction control.
Yeah, exactly. No, this car, both of these cars wheel drive at Hockenheim, and I purposely did this at a German track because it's a German brand and make. So I thought that'd be a good combination, but the combination turns out to be super squirrely. So to be honest with you, I wasn't once I really found out about the combo, I wasn't going to go back and create all the tunes again because it takes a fair amount of time. So the drivers, hey, this is what the series is about. This is one of the hallmarks of the International Manufacturer Spec Challenge, is they have to drive a spec car that I make. The tune is not particularly great. It's a vanilla tune of what we call it. So it's right in the middle, mid Aero, mid suspension, mid ARBs, all the stuff is really just mid. So it'll do things okay, but it won't do anything exceptional. And that's the challenge.
Right.
Yeah, big puff of smoke from Chief and from Medieval.
Well, you can start to see that the first 4 cars are starting to pull away.
Yeah. Well, and that's the difference. That's the difference between the 142s, the mid or low 142s, and the first one was 143.0. So you're seeing about 6/10 or 7/10 in qualifying, and now you're seeing it develop in the race. And
yeah,
these,
you can see there's 5 cars really fighting for the 5th.
yeah,
But they're so tight on each other.
yeah, this gap is in the front 4 have spread out just a little bit, and all these guys are in the Platinum tune, so they are in the most, like I said, least amount of tire width and heaviest weight rim that we could give them. So really, the max balance we could give and the lowest amount of grip in these cars, and they're still doing exceptionally well and pulling away from the guys that have that tire width and a little bit less weight. So we're lap 7 of 17 right now, so we've got still 10 laps of racing left. I'm going to go back to that battle for 5th. Let's get on board with Trigger again. Okay, quite a gap, so actually I'm going to go on board with Trashman. He's been moving up the field, and he's got Bondacious in his sights now.
Yep. Yeah, Trashman is representing the Alzheimer's Association livery. Very cool.
Yep. He's really revving out that car too on that back straight. So Bondacious, where did Bondacious start? He started pretty well down the field. What do you see?
No, I was trying. I thought he was he? I think Bondacious still was 5th. I don't think he never lost his position. I don't think.
I'd have to look back and see again, but yeah. I think him and Hitman qualified pretty well.
So in the back here, Sedlum, LBW James, and Cole, are they all on the bronze too?
No, actually, LBW James, I talked about this last round. LBW James is new to Forza, so we didn't have any data on his race lap, his race pace, his racecraft, or anything in this game. He's raced with us in Project Cars 2, but in Forza we didn't have any data, so he had to unfortunately be put in the default gold tune. So he's for sure going to be one of the drivers that's going to be reclassed. So we'll have to see what his pace indicates, if that's silver or if that's bronze. But he knew this coming in. I told him that was kind of the caveat to this. He couldn't do the qualifying, so he was put into the default gold, and that was more to protect the other drivers that had qualified, and I could really tell their pace. Now, if James had raced with us before in Forza, and we kind of know where he sat, then as an admin, we would have been able to assign him a tune that was correct. But again, he was an unknown quantity, so we had to be safe and protect the other drivers. So he will be reclassed. Okay. Good example of that is Sedlum. We know Sedlum really well. He's raced with us for years and years, and he's a silver driver, so we felt comfortable putting him in the silver tune, even though he was not able to qualify.
Yeah, Sedlum was always consistent, though, I have to say.
Yes. Looks like he's lost a little bit of... Yeah, he's lost a little bit of touch with the Yankees fan up in front.
Yeah.
Oh, Yankee gets a big wiggle as I get on board with him.
Yeah, I'm on board with Yankees fan as well.
Yeah, Hitman's right there. Hitman's performing really well, but it looks like maybe in this car and track combination, it's hard. It's a difficult car. It's really, really wild, to say the least. And the guys were in the chat were saying before the race that this is nothing compared to the 125 we're going to drive here in a little bit. So we'll see how that goes.
That's going to be interesting. Yeah, see how that goes.
Yeah, and then of course the grid will be set from the results from race 1. So that'll be interesting too, obviously. So basically it's just a carrot to give them for, like, hey, you did great in the first race. Let's just start you off good in the second race. And that way cuts down on qualifying time too. Oh, ORC faking a move there, feinting a move to unknown Hitman. Hitman didn't fall for it though, and just maintains his apex. But Yankee's on the prowl right now in that bright yellow and blue
Yeah, I think
BMW.
Yankee's getting pretty. You know, it takes a lap. When he warms up, he starts making moves.
Yeah, I like that feint though. It shows the racer. I feel like he's doing it right now too. This time he's actually going to stick it up there though on this, but I think he's going to go deep.
Oh yeah, look, he's going in
Oh,
inside.
oh no!
Take the position.
Wow. Now,
Let's
I really thought he had too much speed going in there. I thought he was going to go wide, and I thought that Unknown Hitman was going to get the cutback, but he parked it on the apex.
he basically he outbraked them going into it, so that was good.
Well, and that's one of the best braking zones, obviously, into that tight hairpin. That's one of the best overtaking spots because it's such a huge brake to get in there. So Unknown Hitman had to slow up a lot on that, so his exit was really affected. And now you see the distance Yankees fan has already put on him.
Yeah, now Yankees fans trying to go after Flight. So
Yeah, let's see what Flight's got.
he's got 6 more laps to go, so we'll see.
Once it scrolls around again, I'm going to update you on lap times here really quick. So we've got a 142.0 from Hybrid, 142.1 from TRC, 142.6 from Master Big Chief, and it goes too fast. I can't get the rest. So I got the top 3. So hang on, next time around we'll go through 4th. Oh man, I wish that ticker would just stay still. That'd be really nice.
I know,
For a little bit longer. Okay, 4th, 142.4 for Medieval Knight. All right, ready? 5th, Bundacious 143.2, Dat Trashman 143.4, NWR Trigger 143.2. Dang! I could get 3 of them, but not 4.
You're an auctioneer at a stock market.
I know. Or no, the Micro Machines guy.
Oh, Chief went wide, and he was trying to take advantage of that.
All right, let me get up there.
Maybe he was on the back of coming out that hairpin. So
Okay, I'm on board with him.
Back of him now.
Is he going to try the move right here? I don't think so. That's dicey, but look at Chief. Chief goes really wide. Chief goes really wide.
But he braked. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this.
Stuck on the outside. Stuck on the outside, yeah.
Chief.
Not a good place.
I'm on hook cam now. Come on.
Really close to the wall. But that affords that really wide entry. Ooh, really close on the grass.
Yeah.
He's lining him up. Oh, puts Chief off just a little bit.
He's trying to get him on the inside.
Yeah.
There.
There's a good battle between the two Platinums.
But Chief exits out of the turns pretty well.
Well, you can tell he's keeping an eye on Medieval because he knows he's there. It affected him a little bit on one of those corners where he went a little wide, and unfortunately, Medieval could not capitalize on it fully.
I mean, somebody's pulled off here to the side. Who is this? Or is this Pitts? Oh, it's Pitts. It's Unknown Hitman.
Really?
Wait, no, he's not on Pitts. Excuse me. He pulled off to the side.
What's going on there?
I don't know what's going on. I need to see if he's got damage.
Yeah, check on that.
He's fallen.
Oh, he's 14th.
Yep. He has no damage.
I wonder if he had a controller failure or something going on.
He's just sitting here.
Okay, Unknown Hitman. We might have to get him in the booth afterwards and see.
Actually, I'll take that back. He has 4.9 engine% damage, but I don't know if there was a contact. But that's all the damage he has, 4.9%. The rest of the car is fine.
We talked about it too, and it's hard to see damage on Forza because it's not always correct, and sometimes it flashes back and forth. So it's always hard to say. But I'm guessing if you pulled over, I would think that's probably true. Yeah, I see him right there on the exit where Master Big Chief and Medieval are battling by.
Man, I wonder what happened. Well,
he was doing well in the race too.
Yeah. Somebody's in pits. Who is this? Let me see. Somebody is in pits though.
Is that Cole? I can't see yet.
My thing. Actually, come on. No, that's Sedlum. Sedlum just came out of
Sedlum in the pit. Okay. So we got a pit caller, and we got Unknown Hitman pulled off on the side for unknown reasons. Interesting.
Alright, so Sedlum is entering back in. The TRC went way wide.
Yeah.
But so I'm not. Yeah.
Wow. This race has been turned on its head by a couple drivers right now. I'm still on board with this battle with Master Big Chief and Medieval Knight. It's just a cat and mouse. Medieval's really trying to figure out where he can pass Chief safely. We got 142.7 was the last lap for Medieval, so he's on a charge right now. And that's 143.3 for Bondacious back in 5th. Oh, nice dive. Chief really squirrely. Oh, little contact from Medieval. He's going to make sure that Chief retains that position. Let's see if Medieval has any damage.
Okay.
Wrong button.
Yeah, Medieval's trying again.
Yeah, he just hit Chief a little bit into that hairpin. Doesn't look. I see see transmission damage says 4, 8, and it pops back and forth, but then it goes back to 0. Master Big Chief really wide there.
Chief went way wide.
Yeah, he still reined it in because Medieval. Oh, I thought he was going to go in the sand there. Wow, that was close.
Yeah, I thought if Medieval in the sand, that's it.
Yeah, no, that battle would have been. Now he's got a significant lead back to Bondacious.
Yeah.
Where'd my ticker go? I lost my ticker.
Check out 4Cam and Yankee. So we got 3 cars, Trash, 4Cam, and Yankee fighting for 8th spot. And Yankee's all over the back of 4Cam. I told you, like, he gets stronger.
There's my ticker.
Stronger every lap. So I'm going to see how Yankee will overtake 4Cam, or 4Cam's going to defend it.
Okay, let me go. Who are you on board with right now? Look at
I'm on board with 4Cam right now.
Hang on, Trigger's up in 5th place now all of a sudden.
Oh wow.
Bondacious was in 5th.
Yankees fan just looked on the outside coming out to turn 1.
Yeah, I see this battle. I'm on board with Yankee now, and we've got a plethora of cars all the way up to 6th place as possible up here. So from 6th to 10th, in the last 4 laps of this race, we've got a great battle.
Now, is Yankees fan close enough to do his move and get to the hairpin? Let's see.
He could. Look, he's showing. He's showing.
There he goes. He goes on the outside.
No, it pulls back in line.
Oh, he pulls back in.
He's just feinting. He did that too with the last driver. He just feinted the inside a little bit, made him think twice, and that's where he's going to go. Now, let's see how many times he shows those cards.
A good run, I must say.
Yeah. And all it takes is one slight mistake.
Yeah. 4Cam is doing real good defensively. He really is. Now, up further up, Trash Man is trying to take on Bondacious.
I see that. Okay, let me go on board with Trash.
Okay, I'm going to stay here.
Yeah, Trash Man with Bondacious. Oh, Bondacious in the sand. Loses a lot of momentum.
Oh, I see it.
4Cam's coming around the outside.
Oh, Bondacious cut it between Trash Man and 4Cam.
Yep.
So, trying to get that one position back, then he lost. He's all over. Oh, no, he didn't went wide. Oh, not wide, off the track. Okay, now they're all close together, so this is interesting.
Yeah, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. That's given, who was that in 6th now? That's Flight. Giving 6th place Flight a little bit of a breather now. So let me...
Okay, 4Cam all over the back of Bondacious.
Yeah, I'm on board with 4Cam.
Oh, no, Yankee also lost it a little bit.
Okay, this is a good action area. Let's see. Oh, can't slow it up. Gives Bondacious a bump.
Oh, wait a minute. Somebody locked up.
No.
Fans with 4Cam.
No,
trying to take 4Cam on the outside.
No, 4Cam hit Bondacious. So 4Cam was letting Bondacious get that spot back.
Look at this. A three wide, and then Yankees on the outside. Really
He's on the inside now. So now we've got ORC Yankees fan on the inside. Looks like Bondacious is having trouble controlling that car right now.
Oh, Yankee takes on 2.
Ooh.
Oh. Wow.
That was all set up. Yeah, that was all set up by 4Cam accidentally running into the back of Bondacious and not being able to get that car stopped in time. And Yankees fan picks up 2 spots for that. So now let's see the fight back. We'll look at Bondacious.
Oh, a touch. Bondacious Yankee just touched.
I mean, this is a pure dogfight right now. I mean, this is gloves off.
I want to switch to game camera. Here we go. On game camera now with Yankees fan.
Yankee with a little wiggle. Let's see if he tries to put up the inside. Yankee defends that line. Knows the Bondacious is there, really close. And now 4Cam. Now 4Cam is in the passenger seat, just waiting for these guys to get in a tangle. Yankee, everybody really
What lap
squirrely.
are we on? I lost the lap.
We're in lap 15 to 17, so we got 2 laps left. I'm going to go head up to the front. Oh, 4Chem up the inside. Takes a little bit of liberty with the curbs. Let's see. Yeah, he backs off a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go up front here. Let's see what's going on with the top 4 again.
Yeah, I'm on front here. Hybrid's he's still out.
And Medieval and Master Big Chief is still going hammer and tong at it too. I mean, these guys.
Let's take a look back.
These guys have been at it the whole race. Master Big Chief and Medieval Knight. So they really both have been doing well to control this beast of a car. And oh, Chief with a big old squirrel allows Medieval up on the inside. Let's see if he can get it stopped. Can he get it stopped in time?
Medieval.
Master Big Chief with a cutback, but on the outside.
Yeah, cutback on the outside. But wait, look. Medieval's pushing.
Oh, Medieval gave him the space. He thought he was there further than he was, and he gave him the space. But now, oh.
Well, Medieval should be lined up for this turn here.
Yep. He's taking it.
Okay.
So Medieval Knight up to 3rd place, and Master Big Chief right behind. And here there's Sedlum in 13th because of his pit stop. Helicopter cam right there. Chief pops into view below us. Medieval doesn't feel like he needs to defend that. I don't think he thinks the Chief can get around right there and right here. So now the first big action area will be the first. It's not a full hairpin, but turn number, what is it? 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here. After this, right here is going to be where on the curbs. Master Big Chief has dropped off though, so I think Medieval Knight's just going to take his normal race line. I don't think he feels like he has to defend. Now coming to the hairpin, let's see if Chief sends it. He's 90 feet, 100 feet back.
This is the final lap, right?
16 laps. Let's see. I'm going to go board with Hybrid. Let's see where he's at. Let's see. Let's get on board with TRC. Lost sight of these guys. We knew they were taken away. You can see the other drivers on the other side there.
Hybrid has a substantial lead.
Really wide for TRC right there. But he's got nothing to worry about. Nobody behind him. He's just focused forward right now.
Looks like Hybrid's going to about 4 more turns left.
Well, remember these guys in this race series, Ghost, we have them finish the race. We don't have them stop on the 16th or whatever.
Oh, great. Okay.
So yeah, they still have 1 more race left. Now, hopefully they remember it. Yankees fan is in the party with them, so hopefully he's reminding them that to keep racing. Usually in ORC, they're used to stopping on this lap and then pulling over. Let's see what happens. Nope, he's still going. Okay, perfect. They did.
Ivor's still going.
Yeah, they did remember. In this series, we'll keep going. Who you on board with?
Back to this battle, Yankees fan. Looks pretty tight here.
Master Big Chief got around Medieval again.
4Cam caught Yankee. See how well Yankee's going to defend against his 8th spot.
So I just got on board and Master Big Chief had got around Yankee and then got squirrely.
Bodacious with swirly too, but looks like 4Cam is actually got the nose ahead. Yankee locked up and tried to take the inside, and they're side by side now. But it looks like 4Cam got the position. Now we're going down the straightaway for the hairpin, and they're drag racing. They're drag racing down to the hairpin turn. So let's see who's going to take this. Yankees fan had a little bit of edge. All right, they both break. They're not side by side. 4Cam's at the inside. Oh, they touch. Yankee gets hit, and 4Cam takes position for Yankee.
Okay, I'm on board Ghost with Hybrid just to finish out this race right here. He's coming around the last couple corners. He's got a commanding lead unless he really messes it up and goes off. He's going to win this one. Round 2.
They just hit, and Yankee drifted. 4Cam, that gave Bodacious an opportunity to take over Yankee. And Yankee fell back. Bodacious now 9th, all over the back of 4Cam. That was a mistake. I'm not sure if it was the hit from 4Cam that made him lose that position. But now, on the last lap here, Yankee just hit the stand. So back to 10. let me go. Audacious though is fighting now against 4Cam for the 8th spot. Looks like 4Cam's going to get it. 4Cam's holding it, going to the last turn.
Trigger takes
Yankees
5th place.
Wait. Yankees fans caught up with Audacious. He slides. Oh! He spun out. They spun out. Yankees spun out. Audacious held his. The Yankees spun out. Looks like that's how they're going to finish. Wow. That was interesting. Last couple turns.
Wow, yeah, that was
got the advantage of that. So.
The mid pack of this race really. Oh, James is off. The mid pack of this race really provided the entertainment. The first couple drivers were really good, hammer and tong together the whole race. Especially Medieval and Master Big Chief swapping positions a couple times.
No. I was gonna say. Yeah, I was losing a second to you every lap.
Drivers, they just.
Here comes James across the line. Yeah, here comes Corporal Cole.
Oh.
Wherever he is.
And
I'm getting some loading.
that's the end of the race there. So Hybrid wins.
Perfect.
Yep. Got Hybrid in first, TRC in second,
Hey.
Medium in third. Those are your podium finishers.
Yeah, do me a favor and keep that grid up for me, previous grid up, so I can do the race grid here. And let me get a screenshot of that.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, even though they...
Yeah, the middle of the pack was very exciting.
Yeah, the whole race. Front pack too, with third and fourth with hybrid. I mean not hybrid with Medieval Knight and Master Big Chief. That was amazing too. Wow. Hey, take a breath. Woo. All right, we're getting ready here. We're going to start getting the drivers switched over to the number 5 BMW eBay car, the 125i, which is really lively too. So as these guys do this, we can change the race grid. So Ghost, if you wouldn't mind, Hybrid was first, TRC was second, Medieval was third. Let's see,
fourth.
Chief was, where's he at though? He's not on the grid right now. I just tried to set it and I didn't see him.
I'm looking at previous results.
Yeah, he left. Okay, hang on.
Left?
Here, he kicked out or something? I don't know. Let me see where he's at. Okay. Showing is offline, but hopefully Yankees fan will let us know what's going on with that. We have 15 drivers. I believe we had 17 before. So who else are we missing is the question.
But no, I think it was always 14 drivers.
Oh, is it okay? Okay, so we got Hybrid, TRC, Medieval, Chief, but he's not in the lobby. Oh, 17 because
Trigger.
it was us. Sorry, who's after Trigger's after...
Trigger.
Okay, I'll have to make a spot for fourth for... And then who's after Trigger?
Fight.
Who else?
Trash.
Trash. Okay, next.
4Cam.
Okay, hang on. He's over here. 4Cam in 7th.
4Cam and
Well, 8th. Yeah, 8th. Yeah. It's messed up because Master Big Chief's not in here. Okay, who's 9th?
Audacious.
Okay. Bondacious.
Yankees fan is 10th.
Yankees fan.
James is 11th.
Okay.
Pole 12th.
And Hitman last, correct?
Sentinel. Then Hitman.
Oh, said them in the Hitman, okay.
Yep.
Okay, now let me
we'll
see what's
find out
going
what
on.
happened there.
Yeah, let me see what's going on with Chief here. It shows him offline, but I sent him a message. Let's see. Can you switch over really quick? Because it sucks on the phone to switch over. Can you find out from ORC Yankees fan?
Sure. I sure can.
All right, guys, we're just waiting for Black Ghost to get back from see what ORC Yankees fan says about Master Big Chief. He's lagged out of the lobby or quit or left or did something, shows him offline. Maybe he's resetting his Xbox. I don't know. But just to recap, that was an exciting first race or round at Hockenheim GP, the full circuits. So we saw a hybrid take the win. But we saw a great battle between, I think the best battle on track at the time was, or most of the time was Master Big Chief and Medieval Knight. Great job to you guys for that good battle. There's a lot of give and take. There's a lot of respect shown. I saw a little bit of racecraft too, with guys trying to squeeze and try to park in the apex. So a lot of good racing there I saw, with a very difficult car to control. So now we're seeing the guys jump in. TRC is still in the M8 for some reason. Hopefully that's just a glitch, but we are seeing that same car. So let's see. Okay, I need to check my spreadsheet really quick and make sure everybody's in the correct tune. So for the Platinum car, we should see an S748.
I'm ready.
Medieval's ready, he says. I just saw.
TRC isn't though.
TRC's in the wrong car. Get him in the right car. Okay, let's see. Sorry, what we got. So Gold Tune, we've got S752. So I see Flight and James and Trigger. Yep, 748. Okay, and we've got the Silver Tune. We've got S757, Yankees fan, Bondacious, 4Cam, Trashman, a couple of the guys, Sedlum. All right, I see 14 drivers. We're missing another driver now. So let's see. Let's pop over there and see if we can see who else are we missing. Interesting. All right, let's double check in the Corporal Cole's the only one in the Bronze Tune right now. So let's see. He's loading it up right now. And a 762. All right, 14 drivers. We need a couple more. Hopefully Black Ghost gets back in a second. We can confirm with him what's going on. There's Hybrid. Okay, so it looks like we had Hybrid drop out for a second. All right, that's one. Now we just need Master Big Chief. So guys in the chat, tell me, or on YouTube when you guys see this, tell me what's going on. You know, what you guys want to see. Do you guys like the camera angles? Do you want to see something else? What are you guys most thrilled about with the series?
Don't use traction control.
Ghost, did I hear you pop back on?
Yeah, so
What's going on?
it seems that Master Chief is done for the night.
Oh,
He just left and
nope.
he looks offline.
Yeah, I sent him a couple, and he shows offline. Now, sometimes people will ghost themselves so they don't get bothered. But obviously, we know he was on. But I wonder if there was frustration there for some reason between the battle between himself and Medieval Knight then, or if he just had other plans or something that was going on. Chief, when you see the video, please let us know. Okay, cool.
With Hitman, he said after the restart, the car did not feel the same, and he said that he just had to pull over. It just wasn't feeling the same. So he said hopefully the 125 will be full, ready to go. So.
And we know the game sometimes does that. I know you've experienced that personally, where you've got the tune glitch where it doesn't load the tune correctly or feels way different for some reason. So I know that happens every once in a while. It's a shame that it happened to him, because in the first part of that race and the first go around before we had the restart, he was really on fire and he was making up a lot of ground and he was doing really well for himself. And championship wise, he's doing really well too. So far, just after one round, but. All right, let's see if he can. He's got to go from the back of the grid, so I'm curious to see what his pace will be in this car then.
And then they lost Hybrid for a second, but is he back?
He's back. Yeah, I saw him join again. I did see those 14. I was wondering. I was trying to look through quickly to see. So just waiting for Medieval Knight to ready up, and I already double checked a lot of the guys. I want to double check the race grid again to make sure. but nothing got moved around. Flight. Yeah, Trigger did really well in that first round, and he.
Oh yeah, Trigger did great.
He was funny because he was really saying like, oh, it looks like I'm going to play with my own. I'm not even going to play with my own people, and then he goes and puts in a 5th place result.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
Where
yeah.
Where did he start again?
Oh geez, I'd have to look back. So I don't have them.
Okay.
I just have the times. So and they're not in order. So to get it, I mean, he started well back towards the back of the grid. I would say 9th or 10th if I remember correctly, but
oh, wow.
don't quote me on it. Yeah. So he made up about half of positions. All right, looks like we're ready to go. So we're going to go into round 2 with the BMW 125i. We've got a 5-second countdown here. 17 race laps on tap again. And here we go.
All right, let's get this going.
It's funny, I can hear Medieval Knight in the chat on my headphones for some reason. I don't know how. Because we're not in a party with him, but I can hear him pop up every once in a while. All right, guys are going to have...
Since you... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Since you asked me who the dark horse was and me who's the dark horse in the BMW 125.
Yes.
Who do you think is the dark horse?
Well, I mean, based on that first round, I mean, so having obviously the knowledge of them, knowing that this car is maybe a little bit more of a handful than the first one, and they handled that first one pretty well, I'd have to say Trigger's my dark horse right now. I didn't think, and he didn't even think he was going to finish that great, and he popped up 5 or 6 spots from what I remember. So now he's towards the sharp end of the field now. So I don't know if that's going to slow him down. I'm going to jump on board with him actually to start the race when we get on board as they do the warm up. But I mean he can see now. I mean there's nobody else in front of these guys, right? So he can see Hybrid and TRC are messing around again. That seems to be a theme. Hey, you know what? This if they damage themselves, I'm not going to restart the race.
I want to say, you know what?
Nope.
They locked up. TRC is now spun out on the warm-up lap.
Now,
okay, so he's way out of position.
Yeah, the only time I'd restart that is if TRC or Hybrid, hurt Medieval or somebody else that wasn't involved in their little tomfoolery. But it looks like he's back on track. So
he's cutting across.
It's still funny, I gotta say.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get my lap times again up.
I remember my own personal experience with the Tora, when we did the Tora and we raced against this car. This car has tremendous straight line speed. I couldn't believe how fast it is, straight line. It's a handful in the corners, I must say, but when I was fighting against that car, you can't, the straight line is ridiculous.
Well, and that was with using the Audi RS3, correct?
Yeah. I was an Audi, but I was competing against these cars here, these BMWs. So.
Yeah, in the lobbies I was in, I didn't have too many of the BMWs for some reason, so it was mostly Audis. And I think I was in a couple of races. I was in the second lobby and third lobby. But yeah, everybody was talking about it in the chat on how fast these cars were. All right, we're coming around the last corner.
Getting ready around the last turn. So.
How tight this bunch is.
Get ready for 16 laps of front-wheel drive.
No, these are rear-wheel drive.
Oh, excuse me, rear-wheel drive. Excuse me. And they're off. Here we go. DRC's on the inside, and gets it.
Yep, it takes it.
Clean through. Oh, we got 3 going there.
He's gonna.
Audacious.
I would have thought he would have defended this corner. Yep. Hybrid goes up the inside.
Oh, wait. Dives in, and whoa, that was pretty easy. Hybrid. But wait. On the cutback, DRC. Okay, they touched a little bit.
Here comes another.
Trigger went way wide. Trigger went way wide.
Yeah, somebody's off. Yep.
A lot of position.
So this, I think this is an instant where that first car was a handful. So now the second car doesn't seem as much as a handful as probably when they were testing by themselves. Hybrid really wide, showing that he wants to really dive on there.
he dove in there.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a hit between Trigger there's a contact. There's contact. Trigger and oh man. I don't know if it was 4Cam that hit him, but
Let's see what we got.
Hitman is trying to against James. Hitman's on the outside, but Yankees fans in front of Trigger, but Trigger fell out of this safe spot.
Yeah, I'm showing no damage on his car.
Yeah, going in the hairpin, it looks like he hit him. I think it wasn't intentional.
Oh, sand for Trigger.
Oh, sand for Trigger.
Oh, see, he's going backwards now.
Yeah.
He's just trying. I think he was so excited about being so high up on the grid. He's just throwing it away right now. 2 off tracks that we've seen so far.
Yeah, and the contact.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if that was him or whose fault was that? Do you think, or who was that?
I couldn't see. It was the last second. I just saw he got turned around in the door panel. So
Yankees fan was off on the last corner. So now on the straight, he's under threat. Up there in what, 6th place? From 7th place, 4Cam.
So I'm riding on board Hitman right now.
Hybrid's in 3rd.
He's coming up real quick on 4Cam.
I'm on board with Flight right now, looking at the back of Hybrid, fighting with Medieval Knight and TRC in front. They're really tight, 2 wide. Medieval's on the inside. I think he's going to stay there for this hairpin, so let's see if he can get TRC. Hybrid tries to force the issue and go 3 wide into this hairpin. I think Flight is going to benefit from this the most, though. He's going to get a good drive on this. So those three drivers right in front.
4Cam locked up. Hitman's trying to take the inside. Looks like Hitman's going to take that position away from 4Cam.
Oh, 3 wide. Medieval Knight gets squeezed. Hybrid.
They're drag racing now.
Yeah, Hybrid's meeting the sandwich.
4Cam. Oh, he just closed the door on him coming out of that turn.
Now Flight up the inside. Now Flight is in 3rd place now.
Trigger just. I don't know if that was the end of the contact or he just spun, but 4Cam lost it. I mean, he didn't spin out. He was just drifting.
Man, we thought that first battle was really tight. This battle is much tighter. You used to see the top 4 up here. I'm on board with Flight right now, and the top 4 are going at it. Medieval's been getting abused a little bit here. Oh, I'm getting the Forza screen. Did we lose somebody? Nobody up here. Wait till it scrolls around. I'm guessing that was a lag out or a quit or something. 12th, I can see 12th now.
Me too.
Yep, Corporal Cole, DNF. Yep.
Cole.
It sounds like a pack of angry bees in this car.
It does.
Oh, TRC a little. Yep. Here comes Medieval up the inside of TRC. TRC got a little bit squirrely on that exit. Now here comes Flight. Flight should go to the inside. TRC is going to defend and put it right in the middle. Flight has no place to go except the outside. Hybrid now in front again after being relegated down to 3rd the past couple laps. As these guys went, these top 4, now 5, 6. I mean, it's literally trained from 1st all the way down to what, 9th right there? With very little gap in between.
Yeah, the gap is actually Yankees fan between 7th and 6th. Trigger's trying to get the inside on the 4Cam.
Bondacious on the back of Flight all of a sudden. Track Liberty.
I'm going on board Trigger.
Yeah, track limits are a little bit liberal. It looks like for this
this car.
Swirling. Our top 3 have pulled away just a little bit, 70 feet or so.
Oh no, Hitman's in the sand. He's off course. He's
trying
to get back on. Looks like Trigger's now moved up to 8th. He took 2 spots, and 4Cam is trying to fight off Hitman after Hitman's error there. And it looks like 4Cam is going to get that position. Yes, he does. So Trigger moved up now from 10th to 8th. And we have 4Cam in 9th and Hitman's in 10th. And Selim's in 11th. And then James is 12th. So these guys all battling really for 8 spots. Now Trigger's trying to try to catch up to Yankees fan. Let's see how if he does.
He's got quite a big gap to Yankee.
Left.
Oh, TRC off the course. That promotes
TRC
flight.
off the course.
That promotes flight up to third place, and here comes Bondacious on TRC for fourth place. They're side by side coming to the hairpin. TRC's got position on the inside though. Lock up in front from Medieval Knight, and TRC keeps that spot, but Dat, Trashman, and Bondacious and Yankees fan are all in the mix now. Ooh, Bondacious, big squirrely on the exit of that.
Yeah, I'm on board now with TRC.
Yeah, I'm on board with Flight right in front of you. Looking at the back of Medieval Knight. Medieval Knight made a mistake there, and Flight caught up a lot of ground on that. Hybrid is still hanging out in front.
But Yankee just went really wide.
Ooh, so did TRC. TRC went really wide on that exit there.
I guess you don't get no grip on that curve, or it just messes you all up.
Well, I remember in Forza RC when they were talking to the guys, they did this track. I forget what car they were doing it in, but that green AstroTurf was legal. Now, we saw them go way over that, TRC, on this occasion, as he goes wide again.
Ooh. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's actually not gaining anything from it. He's actually losing a little bit. So I think he's trying to come grips with the car. As Flight actually gets on that curve and a little squirrely.
Well, we got a three-way battle here between Bodacious, Trashman, and Yankee. Yankee's just
I'm gonna head back.
Is just hauling down. Got 6th spot. Well, right now he's holding 6th spot, going his turn.
Yep.
Trashman locks up on the brakes. Yankee's trying to go take it, and Yankee does.
Yeah, I see
now
that.
Yankee's at 6th, and he's trying now to get on Bodacious.
Yeah, I'm board with Yankee right now with Dat looming right behind that big 32. And Bondacious right in front of him in 5th place. So this is a good round for these guys right now so far. I was really surprised, of course, commentator's curse. The guy I picked as my dark horse has a couple incidents in the first couple laps and just falls right off, unfortunately. But I was pulling for you, Trigger Man, just so you know. You were looking good in this. You set yourself up really well. And I see you in the background there, so it's not over. You've still got quite a bit of laps, and as we've seen, this race can go sideways for anybody at any time, so stay strong.
All right.
Yeah,
so I'm on board 2nd place now with, I believe it's Medieval Knight. Yep. And TRC is in 4th. He's trying to Flight is really defending well.
Yeah, I see
TRC
him.
goes on the inside. Oh, TRC went inside. Beautiful move on Flight, and he's got that position now.
Hey,
Well,
Flight.
he got squirrely there though.
Yeah, Bondacious too behind as well.
So now TRC's moved to go to see if he can battle Flight for 2nd. Medieval Knight for 2nd.
Yeah, see, it seems like the the racing's a lot closer in the TCR cars, right? I mean, we don't see big gaps, even with the guys making fairly large mistakes and going really wide and drifting, sliding stuff. They're still not. I've got Yankees fan look up at the inside of Bondacious. Didn't pull off though.
Looks like TRC is not trying to get past Medieval. Medieval's defending well. Going down the straight, get ready for the hairpin. See if TRC is going to go for the dive.
He's
positioned.
positioned.
Medieval's in the middle.
No, he's
locked up his brake. No. TRC does take the inside.
Yep. You saw that move coming.
TRC has the position. Yeah, he's in 2nd now.
So I think Medieval thought that he wasn't close enough, and so pulled to his normal racing line, and then realized he's only got one move, and then didn't make an effort to pull back. Obviously, that was a good choice because we don't want to see blocking. So TRC said thank you very much and did him under the brakes.
Bodacious dive bomb down into the inside of Yankees fan.
Oh, Yankees fan fights back though.
Looks.
That's
what I'm looking at.
Bondacious really
way outside.
So he did that the last 2 laps in a row. So that's going to be something, Bondacious, we're going to look at, because you gained an advantage there, buddy. So we'll look at that in post race.
He took the position off of Yankee. Yeah.
By going wide, yeah. I saw it from far away, and by the time I went to get on board, he was already way out there. So I couldn't tell the first part of that. So you'll have to tell me, and we'll have to look at your stream.
Yeah. Yankees happy.
There's another wide moment from Bondacious.
Bondacious went wide, so
yep.
Yankee can take advantage of going down to turn 2.
Yankee really early in the brakes, I noticed, did a little pump and then did brakes again.
Okay, so I'm going to move around. I'm going to go back up to the 3rd place. There's a gap here between 3rd and 4th. What are we looking at for lap times? Oops.
Good luck trying to read off all 4. What? So what you just heard was my wife trying to call me, everybody. And the ringtone I have for her, obviously, because she's my wife, and I love her very dearly. Ghost, did we lose you? Ghost, you there? That really screwed up the audio, it looks like. Shows I'm connected, but I don't hear him. Ghost, you there? Hello, hello? Okay, you can hear me. I can't hear you. Say it again.
Hello.
Okay, it's really weak, but... Okay, it's really weak, sorry. My wife tried to call and messed the whole thing up. Yeah, I can't hear you again.
I think it's the fastest lap before it's Forza ticker. But he is all alone. So he's way ahead of the field here.
Who is a hybrid?
TRC's in 2nd. Looks like we're thinning out here. Medieval.
Oh! I thought Yankee was going to for sure plow Bondacious. He pulled that up at the last second. Yeah, so it's weird that my wife calling on my phone killed Xbox.
Trying to keep up with... Oh, locked up the brakes. Medieval's going... Oh, TRC.
I can see the battle in front.
Medieval's going to take advantage of the fight for that second, but...
There goes Bondacious again on the outside, almost hitting that tire wall, getting more grip.
Went wide again.
Yep. All right, so I'm going to say officially already, just from what I've seen, that we're going to have to issue a warning to Bondacious.
I'm going to watch him at game camera, watch his race line. I think he's trying to take advantage.
Well, I think he's just pushing it really hard and getting wide, and then just dealing with the best he can. But he's definitely staying in front of Yankee in 6th place here.
Quick kink.
Yeah, look, another wide moment for Bondacious. So yes, I think we might have to move straight on from a warning to a penalty, because it's fairly consistent with abusing track limits.
He dove down the hairpin.
Who you on board with now, Ghost?
2nd sector.
Hello, hello, can you hear me? Oh man, that call really messed everything up. I don't think Ghost can hear me.
It's like flighting me and
Alright, that's not gonna work. It keeps not allowing me to use my audio too. Let's see what we got here. There's nothing else I can do. Ghost, you hear me? Ghost, do you hear me?
Staying inside.
No, Ghost and I have been disconnected. So I'm going to leave the party and see if we can come back, guys. Sorry about that. My wife screwed everything up, apparently. Which I still don't know why that would do that. But, okay, we're going to see if we can get back in here. Sorry, keep an eye on Yankees fan here for the moment. Amuse yourselves. Let me see if I can get him again. Okay, no. Bodacious wide again. Yeah, you're still loading on my screen, but at least I can hear you. And I was asking you questions and you weren't responding, so I needed to leave the party. So apparently Xbox can't handle when somebody uses your or calls your phone. And I know it should cut it off. Obviously that makes sense, but apparently couldn't get it back.
So you didn't miss anything. Well, verbally. I mean, I know you've been watching it, but
Yeah.
I was watching Bodacious a little bit because looking at replay cameras, watching what's going on. So I went to chase cam or gameplay cam. And
Right.
running the line pretty well. He cut maybe one turn, but
I'm seeing 3 corners that he's cutting
yeah,
or extending pretty regularly, actually,
yeah.
almost every lap. So I was telling you, I made a comment like right here. He's gone wide the last 3 or 4 laps. Okay, so now he's kept it in check, and then on which corner is it coming up? T1, he's been wide the last couple times too. That kink at T1. So everything's starting to crunch up now here. So I don't know if TRC's lost a little bit of pace, and Medieval's allowed to catch enough flights right there.
Tires might be an issue. We check out the tire where who am I on board with? Let me go back to the TRC.
Ooh, big squirrel from Yankee. Whoa! Yankee's having a hard time with this car right now. That would indicate to me that, yeah, where's Trigger at now? Trigger's an 8th.
Tyler is fine. Whoa, Bodacious, you went wide.
Bodacious, you're going to get some time now, because number 15, let's see.
6%.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's almost like we got Bodacious in the wine grape kind of color, the full-bodied fermented grape, and then we've got Yankee behind in the nice green sour grape.
Lost my track map. There we go.
All right, see, TRC looks like Medieval Knight just passed TRC. I'm going to go on board with Medieval Knight and TRC right here. Yeah, Medieval Knight's in second place now. I would imagine he would go up the end. Oh! TRC makes a big mistake and slides off on the outside. There goes Flight. There goes Bodacious. And I bet you here comes Yankee. TRC slots right in between Bodacious and Yankee as Bodacious goes wide again.
I'm on board now. He's using that as an advantage to get set up for the next lap. You're going to have to penalize him.
Yeah, I think this is not going to be. It's more than just a couple times. It's most of the laps we've been on. He's used that. So.
Ooh, TRC snuck in nicely. Though.
Yep.
Nice pass.
Well, there's nothing he could do with that. Bodacious should have really protected that line, but I think he realized that he's not going to be able to keep him behind him. And so, really, the real battle's between himself and Yankees fan.
I see. I'm on board now.
Yeah, look at Yankee squirreling around, showing him.
Oh, yeah, Yankee means business.
Look, there goes Bodacious again. Same track, same exact.
Like, why is he like he's running another third lane?
He's done that. He's done that for a ton of time. So
like,
yeah, I'm not.
Like that's his line he's running. It's not the line.
Right. It's abusing track limits, and we're gonna have to definitely nip that in the bud. So. Typically, I'll have to look at the rule set I put in this one, but typically, I think in Project Cars 2 and some of the other ones, one of the penalties really is, and look at Bodacious on TRC. TRC must have damage. I bet she has engine damage.
Let me go check him out because the tires were fine. Oh yeah, he's falling back and forth. Yeah, right.
Well, he made a big mistake, and went on the side. Right, actually, last lap of this corner right here went wide, almost hit Medieval, but instead took to the grass on the outside. So that's where he lost the time. But I'm wondering, Bondacious was catching him.
He does have 4.7% engine damage on my screen.
Okay, let me look and see.
Had.
Yeah. Yeah, 4.7. So I almost can confirm that 100% that that's what the issue is. The 4.7 damage, engine damage on him.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed is when we spectate, you can't save the replay, huh?
Don't think so. And Hybrid is all alone.
That's pretty normal. We've seen that before.
Give her ballast or something. But trying to see what's going on in the middle here.
Look, there goes Bondacious again. If I could reach through this game and just tell him and wring his neck and go, dude, come on.
It's like, dude, you cannot use that.
Oh, big old thing from Flight. What happened to Flight?
I see that. I see that.
I was focused looking back at Bondacious, and now TRC's got to run. But watch, with that engine damage, I bet you Flight's going to stay there. No, he's tucking. No, not tucking. Here comes the power. Yep,
There comes the power.
that damage is hurting him. So can he stay on the inside just by parking the apex? Flight's up the inside.
3 laps to go.
Yeah, this is a good battle right here between these guys. Oh, Flight pulled over. Flight pulled over.
I see. I'm on board. I'm on board right now.
What is? Does he show damage?
What's going on?
Oh.
Yes, he has 34% engine damage.
Oh, he just blew up his engine right there in that hairpin.
Yeah, that's
Oh man.
he's done.
See this, and obviously this is another challenge for the drivers, and they know that we have simulation damage on, and the engine, can be affected if they over rev it. But sometimes, man, you're in the heat. You're in the heat of the battle, and you're just going, and you're trying to think of everything else. It's sometimes hard. You might miss a gear. I don't know if he's on controller or wheel. I can't remember. We might have to ask him, but yeah, interesting. So we still got this battle for 4th and 5th now between Yankees fan and Bondacious. Mr. I extend every corner.
Always turn 1 and turn 2.
Yep, turn 1, turn 2, the last 2 corners after the straight. Yeah, there he goes. Better, but still abused the first part of it. Lock up from Medieval. Okay, so Bondacious and Yankees fan, if they don't have damage, should be able to reel him in right here a little bit. So we're seeing right now they're 134 feet, 140 feet. Now I want to see that tick down a little bit. Like I said, unless Bondacious has damage or Yankee. Yankee fell off the back of Bondacious a little bit there. Oh, where's my ticker? Why is my ticker gone again? Damn it.
Man, my ticker went too.
Why does it do that? Come on.
Trigger just trying to take the inside of
Come on, Forza.
trash man.
Oh,
Did somebody drop?
I bet you we lost Flight. I bet you we lost Flight.
4 cam.
4 cam?
No, Flight.
Okay, okay.
I'm sorry, not 4 cam.
Ooh,
Flight.
yeah, I would say I see 4 cam and 8. Okay.
Yeah, Flight's gone.
Yeah.
Flight dropped out after his damage.
Yeah, I imagine he was like, okay, I'm done.
So.
All right, 2 more laps.
Tires.
Yeah, 2 more laps left.
2 more laps to go.
All right, so Cole gets last place points, and that Flight gets second last.
Second.
Yeah, I'm on board TRC still, and Bondacious is caught up a little bit. Yankee makes a big mistake and goes wide. Oh, I thought he was going off in the sand there, and that would have been... He would have lost, I think, 2 positions if he would have went off in the sand. Oh, TRC a little bit squirrely on that entry. Let's watch Bondacious come into his favorite extend.
Alright, I'm behind Yankees, so.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus, man.
Oh, look how much ground he gained. Look how much ground he gained.
That's what I'm saying. It's almost the point. Remember when you was Spa?
Yeah.
Go up and roofs and kick that part. That's so much track. I mean, Yeah, that's not right. You can't do that.
Yeah, so well, like I was saying before, I don't think I got a chance to finish, but usually what I do is in most of my series that I run is when you get a penalty like that, it's a pit lane, basically a drive-through, which is about 30 seconds. So we'll have to see. We'll talk as ORC admin, and I'll have to see in the rule set if I what I put in there as far as penalties.
Missed it.
Yeah, Bondacious thought about the cutback there, and then just couldn't get the drive down. Medieval kind of on his own little island now too. I don't think because of the damage to TRC's car, engine damage, I don't think he's going to catch up. Hybrid the last round was saying, why don't you have more focus on me? Well, dude, make a mistake or something and make it closer.
Jesus, Bondacious, really?
Because look, I mean,
a hybrid wants more camera time.
yeah, there you go. I'm giving a little bit right now, looking back. There you go, Hybrid. That's all you get because you're too damn fast. So slow it down a little bit, or make a mistake so you can race with somebody. All right? There's your screen time. All right, now let's get back on board with TRC because that's kind of the meat and the sandwich right now between Medieval Knight. Unless he makes a mistake, it got a pretty big gap now, and Bondacious and Yankee still. Now here comes Bondacious into the first corner. And there goes another big one. Poor Yankee, he's got to feel like he can't, there's nothing he can do because he's not willing to cheat, you know, or to extend the track like that. So he's never going to catch up to him, you know? Ghost, you there?
He's trying.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
I was like, oh.
No, I was giving silence to Hybrid.
Hey, is
All by himself.
that Trigger? You were giving what?
I was giving silence to Hybrid because he's all by himself. Like,
Oh, yeah.
gave him a moment of silence.
Hey, look at Trigger. Trigger's now in 6th place.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. He's coming up on Yankee fan. I think 2 laps ago, or I think 2 or 3 laps ago, he made a nice move on Trash Man to take him on the hairpin. So.
All right, I got to get back on board here. I'm guessing that Hybrid already finished. No, he's coming.
Yeah, he finished last week.
No, he's coming into the last couple corners here in the arena area at the Ravenol big oil can up there. So two more corners left, and Hybrid takes a win in the TCR.
We got side by side with TRC and Bodacious, so he's trying to get that 3rd spot.
This is it. All right, congratulations, Hybrid, again to your win. Let's get on board with Medieval Knight. Watch him as he crosses. Medieval around the last corner.
And
Good race from Medieval again.
TRC like going to hold 3rd place podium finish.
You got TRC and we got Bondacious. Oh, into the wall, lots of damage. Bondacious 4th place. And we got Yankee in 5th.
Bang! Oh, Trigger just nailed it.
Trigger.
It wasn't Trigger's fault. TRC floating around.
Oh yeah, Hitman.
All right, so here's your finish.
4 cam.
Oh wait, got James coming in.
Sedlum. James is still on track. So James, we're going to be able to push up, obviously, with these. It's clear that he, in the gold tune now, that he's earned and gave us some data. So we're going to move him up to either silver or bronze. So we'll have to look at his pace relative to everybody else. So James, good job holding it out. 2 rounds in the gold tune. And good job in the game. I mean, he just got this game and literally played like 2 days before. Yeah. So hats off to you, James, for holding it in there, keeping a positive attitude and getting in the time. And getting the other guys to notice you, obviously, too, you know, and get used to your driving style around you. So he's coming around the last couple corners here. Nice heli shot up above. Oh, and he doesn't finish the race on time.
Doesn't finish. Yep.
That's all right. Yeah, so you can't get a race time or Enzo race. You can't get a save replay. Interesting. Well, let's see if we can get Hybrid on. Can you invite him to the party really quick, Ghost?
Yep.
Invite himself, Medieval Knight, and TRC if you can.
Okay.
Let's see if they're still on, willing to chat with us for a second. We'll get them on voice
So
recordings.
Hybrid? You said Hybrid and...
Hybrid, TRC, and Medieval Knight.
Okay.
I would have Master Big Chief on too, because that was kind of there lots of good battles there. But we'll see. There's obviously a lot of drivers we can talk to, a lot of worthy opponents to talk to. The drivers did a great job. The second round, obviously, always our second race, obviously seems to be the one where it really holds all the action. But let's see if we can get the guys in, get a chat with them, see how they're feeling, their thoughts on the race, what their game plan was, other than to win or go fast. So Ghost will let me know right away when he gets these people in. And if not, then we'll maybe cut it off at that point. Here, Medieval Knight. Trigger left. I wish you could save the replay. I don't know why you can't. Alright, so here's the race results from the second round here. 31 minutes elapsed for the race, which is pretty spot on. About a minute over, so one lap. Hybrid in first place, Medieval Knight in second, TRC in third, Bondacious fourth, ORC Yankees fan in fifth, sixth place is NWR Trigger, Dat Trashman in seventh, Unknown Hitman in eighth, 4Cam T-Bird in ninth, Southern in 10th, LBW James in 11th, Flight in 12th, and Corporal Cole in 13th. And look, I'm holding up the last. Ghost, I hear you.
Let me get them. Yeah, let me get them in here.
Okay. Still working on getting the guys in. Let me look at a couple of lap times here. Let me see.
Oops, what am I doing?
So we got some best laps, 147.5. Let's see, 147.7 by Trigger. That's really good. 148 zeros, 148s, a couple 147s, 147.9 for Medieval, 147.9 for TRC, even with that engine damage. You'll see a lot of the exclamation points next to the lap times. That's obviously because Forza, for some reason, does a dirty lap when you're behind somebody in a draft, which doesn't make any sense because Forza does not have draft, and you don't gain an advantage by being behind somebody. So I don't know why they do that. Hopefully they'll change that for next Forza Motorsports 8000.
Medieval was third, right?
Medieval was second.
Oh, second. TRC was third.
TRC was third, yep. In that round,
Okay,
yeah.
they're coming.
Okay. So Ghost, tell me really quick while you're doing that, if you're not busy, tell me what was your takeaway from that race?
My takeaway?
This is the main thought you have. That right when I said that, you thought something. What was it?
Yeah, you got it. Like, oh shit.
Who do we got? We got Hybrid?
I think I take away from that answer to Speedy's question. Take away from that race. I think it was a pretty good, exciting race throughout the middle and back. Pretty exciting, a lot of overpassing, taking. So it was actually a little more interesting than the main race.
It's weird that we kind of see that as a kind of theme developing in the IMSC, right? Is that the second race seems to be where the action is at, where the drivers are tighter together, and there's like the battle for the first, arguably for the first half of the race was literally from first to like ninth, more than half the field. All right, who do we have joined so far?
So we have Hybrid, we have Medieval, we have TRC.
Awesome. Well, let's start with third place. So let's start with TRC first. So TRC, you had a great race there, but we did see you had an engine damage there. Do you recall when you got that?
I'm not entirely sure. Probably when I tried downshift, and I just did it a little bit too fast, which is rare because I know I'm trash, but not that trash. So yeah, it was a fun race. So I'm not too bad.
Yeah, no, it was a good battle from our perspective. Ghost and I were with you guys for quite a while, especially you and Medieval Knight always battling it out. And it seems to be obviously the same. We got the Platinum drivers really hammer and tong every single race. So it's exciting to watch on this end, and hopefully you guys will gain some enjoyment listening to us. So Ghost, what are your thoughts or any questions for TRC?
Hey, he ran a good race. He was pretty just fighting in there every turn.
Yeah, actually, and it brings up a question. You guys mentioned in the chat before we started the race that the 125 was even harder to handle than the M8. Do you guys still feel that way after running both?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't feel that way as much.
Oh, you thought it was
I don't know,
easier.
Slightly.
Okay.
I noticed that if I lost traction, it was harder to save in a decent manner, but I felt like there were fewer places where it was a risk.
Nice. Very good. Well, all three of you guys ran a great race. So actually, Medieval, let's move on to you since you're talking already. Let's. So the lap times and the average lap times we'll have to get to after we talk. But a 1:47.9 shows as your best lap time. Dirty, obviously, because of Forza reasons. But so what was your game plan? Obviously, is to go as fast as you can and to win. But how did you feel that race went for you?
Pretty good. For the beginning, I was in third place, and the two leaders were battling out so intensely that there wasn't really too much of an opportunity to get around until they hit each other pretty hard. So I managed to get second place, and then had some periodic battles with TRC and Flight. And generally, the strategy was just to keep my driving as quick as possible, so I could be as fast as possible. And I think I ended up as good of a position I could be in because Hybrid just had more pace.
Yeah, we seem to see a theme developing there too, where Hybrid wants more screen time, but he ain't gonna get it running 20 seconds in front of everybody. So.
Well, I switched the camera over to him, and I gave him a moment of silence because there's nobody else around.
Yeah.
You're fast, man. You're fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I did see lots of great battles between TRC and Medieval Knight, and
Yeah.
tell me about the pressure really quick. Medieval Knight, when you got in front of him, there was one time in particular coming into a left-hander where TRC actually had to put it on the grass because I think he was going to run into the back of you and did the sensible driver thing and moved out of the way, lost a ton of time and actually a couple positions, but saved you in the meantime. So did you recall that?
Yeah, I believe I had just gotten by him at that point, and I think he was still regrouping. I may have braked slightly earlier than normal, but not by much. I think he just missed his braking point, and he was kind enough not to take us both out, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was one of those panic moments too, I think. That was a code brown for sure on TRC's part. It was like, oh crap. Like, I'm going to take us both out, or... Yeah, and luckily he did lose those two positions, but he got them right back after battling with Flight, I think it was, and Bondacious, I believe, was there. So yeah. All right, so Hybrid, now moving on to you, sir. So what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, you got to tell everybody your secrets, because apparently it doesn't matter if you tune the car or if somebody else tunes the car. You just find the pace. So what is your golden ticket, or what is your golden tip to give everybody?
No possum, wait for everyone to fight, and then just bounce. I don't know.
Is it the alcoholism? Is that what's...
I don't know. The GT car, I thought was not as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
Actually, that too. And then the touring car was a bit of a handful. It took me a while to get to grips with it, which I think is why I caused like a big change, like the first few laps.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, once I got used to that, you just got that short shift. It's kind of a weird car to drive, but very unorthodox. Once you figure it out, you kind of just found like a second easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think smooth obviously is the best way to describe how to be on the BMWs on both of those, and just be smooth on power, smooth on the controls.
Yeah, the M8 has so much torque in the rear wheels, so you have to kind of feather her and press her.
Like a woman, one would say.
Or just throw that bitch around.
or like a rough.
Or you can bitch slap her and throw her around. I guess that's another way. Yeah. All right. So one quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, all three guys, great race. Everybody, great race. There was some good moves. Actually, I saw some nice passes that you did, TRC, going into the hairpin and also going into a sweeper. The right and left over Bodacious. I think Modacious didn't even know you were there. You just snuck in there. But
Yeah.
some good moves.
I told him if it was the one after the Super, I think in the stadium section, I told him I was going on the inside. So I guess I gave him a little bit of a heads up because I didn't want to wreck him. Only person I want to wreck is Seifert, but I wasn't.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
Yeah.
Well, me and Speedy thought in the warm-up that you and Ira were going to knock each other out. You were like, we're not going to give you a restart. You're going to go right to
Yeah, so it seems to be a theme for that too, that we saw that you guys are messing around with each other in round 1 and now in round 2 on the second race. So I'm fine with it as long as you don't impede anybody else.
I'm trying to be sensible, but TLC just keep starting shit. I don't understand.
If we have fenders, you might as well use them. It's fun.
Right. It's not open wheel.
He wants to put his elbows out more.
All right, last question for the group.
He's to fucking Medieval and Big Cheese Space. That's the first last week. Last week they were that right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and that's a shame that we missed Chief in this race here. Like, I don't know if he had to go or what, but
He's scared of the races. That's just me.
It would have been interesting to see how he would have ran with all you guys in the 125, but he didn't, so
Yep.
I don't know.
We'll never know. In another universe, we would know.
I hit him too.
Yeah, one final question, guys, for you. So next week we start our first reverse championship grid. So how challenging is it going to be coming from the back?
I'll go first. I think I'm going to be that dead last behind TLC, so it should be alright because he will crash into everyone and get the match.
Nice, good strategy.
Uh-oh.
I'm right in front of TRC.
I mean, usually I pass cars pretty fast, not because I hit them all the time, but just I'm looking forward to reverse sprints. It's fun, being able to give a bump to everybody.
Equal opportunity.
Wow.
That's my policy.
Right. That's the word.
Well, and I have to say, when I thought this up, last season and we tried it and we've kind of fine-tuned it for this season, just to try a couple things. One of the things that I really focused on is challenging you guys, going between two different cars and, not being able to tune, because I want to see what drivers amongst you, really stand out and really can handle adversity. So this just throws another component into that adversity is having you guys starting back based on your good racing that you've done so far. So I have no doubt you guys will come through pretty quickly. Not that the other drivers are slow or slouches. They're going to make it difficult for you, I hope. I hope their goal is to defend as best they can, but it'll be exciting nonetheless.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
I mean, Road America is long. He actually passed around that track, so it should be alright. Just take your time for the first lap or whatever.
Oh, that's one of the favorite track.
American manufacturer on American track.
See, the difference to me to Barry is that I would wait for that second lap to make passes, but he will go for it, turn one, laps on.
You never know when you're gonna get another chance, so you might as well take it.
There you go. How's another in the flesh right here.
Nice. I'll look forward to commenting on it with Ghost, hopefully, and Severius. But thanks, guys, for joining. Thanks for the good racing, providing some entertainment. You guys will see on YouTube next week. And Ghost has got his Twitch stream, so make sure to go check that out as well and listen to the commentary.
Yeah, I'll put up on YouTube too.
Perfect. So thanks, guys, for the racing. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week.
All right, guys.
Likewise.
Okay, take it easy.
All right, see ya. All right, guys, so that was round 2 of the IMSC second season at Hockenheim GP. Ghost, what's your final thoughts?
Yeah, my final thoughts. Leading up to the next round 3 is going to be more exciting. It seems that it's just more action. So, I felt this was actually more action than Catalina last week, so it's pretty fun.
Yeah, and I think the drivers all know each other really well. A lot of these drivers, actually every single one of them except for James, has raced with each other for multiple times in multiple different series with us, and with SRN and Tora and a couple other racing leagues out there. So they all are 100% aware of each other's capabilities, kind of their tendencies and stuff, and you kind of see that play out in the race too. So I'm looking forward to this next round with the reverse championship grid.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds
all right, buddy.
good, so.
Thanks
Awesome.
for joining.
All right. Yep, same here.
All right, guys, everybody else have a good night. Please leave a like and a thumbs up. Please check out ORC Blacko's Twitch stream where he's also done the race, and he just said he will put it up on YouTube, so make sure to give him a follow as well and support what we're doing here for you guys in entertainment. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night.
All right, have a good